Page number 11. In figure 1.8b, iron nails and copper sulfate solution compared before and after the experiment. Why does the iron nail become brownish in color and the blue color of copper sulfate solution fades? The following chemical reaction takes place in this activity. Fe plus CuSO4 copper sulfate is equal to FeSO4 iron sulfate plus Cu. This is equation 1.24. In this reaction, iron has displaced or removed another element, copper, from copper sulfate solution. This reaction is known as displacement reaction. Other examples of displacement reactions are Zn plus CuSO4 copper sulfate is equal to ZnSO4 zinc sulfate plus Cu. Equation 1.25. Pb plus CuSl2 copper chloride is equal to PbCl2 lead chloride plus Cu. Equation 1.26. Zinc and lead are more reactive element than copper. They displace copper from its compounds. 1.2.4 Double displacement reaction. Activity 1.10. Take about 3 ml of sodium sulfate solution in a test tube. In another test tube, take about 3 ml of barium chloride solution. Mix the two solutions in figure 1.9. What do you observe? You will observe that a white substance which is insoluble in water is formed. This insoluble substance formed is known as precipitate. Any reaction that produces a precipitate can be called a precipitation reaction. Na2SO4 sodium sulfate plus BaCl2 barium chloride is equal to BaSO4 barium sulfate plus twice NaCl sodium chloride. This is equation 1.27. In figure 1.9, formation of barium sulfate and sodium chloride. Page number 12. What causes this? The white precipitate of BaSO4 is formed by the reaction of SO4 2- and Ba2+. The other product formed is sodium chloride, which remains in the solution. Such reaction in which there is an exchange of ion between the reactant are called double displacement reactions. Recall activity 1.2, where you have mixed the solution of lead nitrate and potassium iodide. First one, what was the color of the precipitate formed? Can you name the compound precipitated? Second, write the balanced chemical equation for this reaction. Third, is this also a double displacement reaction? 1.2.5 Oxidation and reduction. Activity 1.11. Heat a china dish containing about 1 gram copper powder. Figure 1.10. What do you observe? In figure 1.10, oxidation of copper to copper oxide. The surface of copper powder becomes coated with black copper oxide. Why has this black substance formed? This is because oxygen is added to copper and copper oxide is formed. Twice Cu plus SO2 on heating is equal to twice CuO. This is equation 1.28. If hydrogen gas is passed over this heated material, CuO, the black coating on the surface turns brown as the reverse reaction takes place and copper is obtained. CuO plus H2 on heating, Cu plus H2O. 1.29. If a substance gains oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be oxidized. If a substance loses oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be reduced. During this reaction 1.29, the copper oxide is losing oxygen. And in other words, the hydrogen is gaining oxygen and is being oxidized. In other words, one reactant gets oxidized while the other gets reduced during a reaction. Such reactions are called oxidation reduction reactions or redox reactions. CuO plus H2 on heating is equal to Cu plus H2O. Equation 1.30. Some other examples of redox reactions are ZnCO plus C is equal to Zn plus CO 1.31. MnO2 plus 4HCl is equal to MnCl2 plus twice H2O plus Cl2. Equation 1.32. Page number 13. In reaction 1.31, carbon is oxidized to CO and ZnO is reduced to Zn. In reaction 1.32, HCl is oxidized to Cl2 whereas MnO2 is reduced to MnCl2. From the above example, we can say that if a substance gains oxygen or loses hydrogen during a reaction, it is oxidized. If a substance loses oxygen or gains hydrogen during a reaction, it is reduced. Recall activity 1.1, where a magnesium ribbon burns with a dazzling flame in air, oxygen, and changes into a white substance, magnesium oxide. Is magnesium being oxidized or reduced in this reaction? 1.3. Have you observed the effect of oxidation reaction in everyday life? 1.3.1. Corrosion. You must have observed that iron particles are shiny when new, but get coated with a reddish-brown powder when left for some time. This process is commonly known as rusting of iron. Some other metal also get tarnished in this manner. Have you noticed the color of coating formed on copper and silver? When a metal is attacked by substances around it, such as moisture, acids, etc., it is said to corrode, and this process is called corrosion. The black coating on silver and the green coating on copper are other examples of corrosion. Corrosion causes damage to car bodies, bridges, iron railings, ships, and to all the objects made of metals, especially those of iron. Corrosion of iron is a serious problem. Every year, an enormous amount of money is spent to replace damaged iron. You will learn more about corrosion in Chapter 3. 1.3.2 Rancidity. Have you ever tasted or smelled the fat or oil containing food materials left for a long time? When fats and oil are oxidized, they become rancid and their smell and taste change. Usually substances which prevent oxidation, antioxidants, are added to food containing fats and oils. Keeping food in airtight containers helps to slow down oxidation. Do you know that chip manufacturers usually flush bags of chips with gas, such as nitrogen, to prevent the chip from getting oxidized? Now questions. 1. Why does the color of copper sulfate solution change when an iron nail is dipped in it? Question 2. Give an example of a double displacement reaction other than the one given in activity 1.10. Question 3. Identify the substances that are oxidized and the substances that are reduced in the following reactions. 1. 4Na plus O2 twice Na2O. Second, CuO plus H2 Cu plus H2O. Page number 14. In this chapter, we are going to learn that what we have learned in Chapter number 1, Chemical Reactions and Equations. What you have learnt. Now the points. A complete chemical equation represents the reactants, products and their physical states symbolically. 2. A chemical reaction is balanced that the number of atoms of each type involved in a chemical reaction are the same on the reactant and product sides of the equation. Equation must always be balanced. Third, in a combination reaction, two or more substances combine to form a new single substance. 4. Decomposition reaction are opposite to combination reaction. In a decomposition reaction, a single substance decomposes to give two or more substances. 5. Reactions in which heat is given out along with the product are called exothermic reaction. 6. Reaction in which energy is absorbed are known as endothermic reaction. 7. When an element displaces another element from its compound, a displacement reaction occurs. 9. Two different atoms or group of atom ions are exchanged in double displacement reaction. 10. Precipitation reaction produce insoluble salts. 11. Reactions also involve the gain or loss of oxygen or hydrogen by substances. Oxidation is the gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen. Reduction is the loss of oxygen or gain of hydrogen. Now exercises based on this chapter. Exercise 1. Which of the statements about the reaction below are incorrect? Twice PbO plus C is equal to twice Pb plus CO2. A. Lead is getting reduced. B. Carbon dioxide is getting oxidized. C. Carbon is getting oxidized. D. Lead oxide is getting reduced. Option 1. A and B. 2. A and C. 3. A, B and C. 4. All. Question 2. Fe2O3 plus twice Al is equal to Al2O3 plus twice Fe. The above reaction is an example of A. Combination reaction. B. Double displacement reaction. Page number 15. Option C. Decomposition reaction. Option D. Displacement reaction. Question number 3. What happens when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to iron filings? Take the correct answer. Option A. Hydrogen gas and iron chloride are produced. Option B. Chlorine gas and hydroxides are produced. C. No reaction take place. D. Iron salt and water are produced. Question 4. What is a balanced chemical equation? Why should chemical equation be balanced? Question 5. Translate the following statement into chemical equation and then balance them. A. Hydrogen gas combine with nitrogen to form ammonia. B. Hydrogen sulfide gas burns in air to give water and sulfur dioxide. C. Barium chloride react with aluminium sulfate to give aluminium chloride and a precipitate of barium sulfate. D. Potassium metal react with water to give potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Question 6. Balance the following chemical equation. A. HNO3 plus CaOH2 is equal to CaNO3 2 plus H2. B. NaOH plus H2SO4 Na2SO4 plus H2O. C. NaCl plus AgNO3 is equal to AgCl plus NaNO3. D. BaCl2 plus H2SO4 BaSO4 plus HCl. 7. Write the balanced chemical equation for the following reactions. Calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide is equal to calcium carbonate plus water. B. Zinc plus silver nitrate is equal to zinc nitrate plus silver. C. Aluminium plus copper chloride is equal to aluminium chloride plus copper. D. Barium chloride plus potassium sulfate is equal to barium sulfate plus potassium chloride. Question 8. Write the balanced chemical equation for the following and identify the type of reaction in each case. A. Potassium bromide plus barium iodide is equal to potassium iodide plus barium bromide. B. Zinc carbonate is equal to zinc oxide plus carbon dioxide. C. Hydrogen plus chlorine is equal to hydrogen chloride. D. Magnesium plus hydrochloric acid is equal to magnesium chloride plus hydrogen. Question 9. What does one mean by exothermic and endothermic reactions? Give examples. Question 10. Why is respiration considered an exothermic reaction? Explain. Question 11. Why are decomposition reactions called the opposite of combination reactions? Write equation for these reactions. Now page number 16. Question 12. Write one equation each for decomposition reaction where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light or electricity. Question 13. What is the difference between displacement and double displacement reaction? Write equation for these reactions. Question 14. In the refining of silver, the recovery of silver from silver nitrate solution involved displacement by copper metal. Write down the reaction involved. Question 15. What do you mean by a precipitation reaction? Explain by giving examples. Question 16. Explain the following in terms of gain or loss of oxygen with two examples each. A. Oxidation. B. Reduction. Question 17. A shiny brown colored element acts on heating in air, becomes black in color. Name the element X and the black colored compound formed. Question 18. Why do we apply paint on iron particles? 19. Oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? Question 20. Explain the following terms with one example each. A. Corrosion. B. Rancidity. Now group activity. Perform the following activity. Take 4 beakers and label them as A, B, C and D. Put 25 ml of water in A, B and C beaker and copper sulfate solution in beaker D. Measure and record the temperature of each liquid contained in the beakers above. Add 2 spatulas of potassium sulfate, ammonium nitrate, anhydrous copper sulfate and fine iron fillings in beaker A, B, C and D respectively and stir. Finally, measure and record the temperature of each of the mixture above. Find out which reactions are exothermic and which ones are exothermic in nature. Thank you. Please study, please listen it carefully and attempt the exercises.